Hello, all you powerful beings of love and light. Welcome to your Pisces New Moon reading. And this Pisces New Moon is going to be at its fullest on March 2nd of 2022, around 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can calculate where that is in your time zone. And there is this wonderful beginning of this next cycle. You know, we have, of course, every 28 or 29 days, the new moon, full moon, always changing. The moon's always going every few days into a new sign. But there's this beautiful full moon, new moon cycle as well that happens around every 5 to 6 months. So the last full moon we had, which I'll show you this card here, was back on September 20th of last year. And you can see that it was talking about balancing spirituality and practicality. And that's the energy that we were having around that time. Taking practical steps towards our dreams and towards our goals, trusting our intuition. And with like the full moon, when it's its fullest, immediately the light starts to leave the full moon, and that's the energy that was happening too, is there was these endings, or at least the beginning of endings, as the light began to leave the full moon. And so this whole 6-month period has been about that journey, and also a time of diving deep into our emotions, because Pisces, you know, they're the fish. They dive deep into that water, into that emotional waters that we are. So these last 6 months, there's been a lot of that energy going on, and we are ready for this new moon in Pisces to come around. Another beautiful card, and you can see here it says, Attune to the divine. So the energy that's coming around this new moon in Pisces is about connecting to your higher self. And whereas before it was all these practical steps and making sure you're doing all the work, now we're going into this beautiful flow where it's asking us just to slip into that flow of life, flow along with our dreams, embrace what is going on. And when we do that, when we connect to our higher self and just go with that flow, then we want what is happening in our life. And what is happening in our life is what we want. We don't get so attached to the outcomes of the future or reflecting on all the mistakes and the should-haves of the past. We get to really embrace this moment, and in connecting and staying in tune with our higher self, it just allows us to be further on our way to feeling blissfully happy and in tune with our dreams. So I am going to have a separate card reading for each zodiac sign, and we're going to dig in more into this dream and this flow of life and what the Creator wants you to know and how you can use this Pisces new moon energy. So we're jumping into your reading right now. All right, my Aquarians, this is your reading for the Pisces new moon, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from this high vibe deck to see what the Creator wants you to know on this Pisces new moon for you. One more time. All right, so for all our Aquarians, what would you like them to know around this Pisces new moon? Okay, there we go. And you've got singing and toning. And that says singing is a great way to move energy and elevate your vibe. You can't sing? Try toning. Place the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, then pick a note, any note, and start to sing or say it. Pitch doesn't matter, just make a sound and move that energy. And I love that because I enjoy singing bowls especially, and you have that tone that has it, and you can hum along to that, or any song really, anything that moves you and raises your vibration. Definitely this is about voicing this energy within you, bringing that vibration even more into this realm, you know, just having it sit within you and like meditating or praying or just thinking or focusing. You have all that going on inside you, but there's something about vocalizing it and having that vibration come out here into the physical realm. It changes things. It changes your life, and it changes the vibration of the whole collective of everyone here too. So I love that for you. We're also going to pull from these black tarot cards, And this is just going to represent messages from your shadow. And you can consider the shadow like your tour guide here on this giant amusement park. And they're going to bring truths for us regarding what is swimming around there in our subconscious that they want us to be aware of. Because, you know, whatever is not in our conscious face, you know, we have these programs that are still running behind the scenes, that are still influencing our lives. So this will be what, you know, the shadow wants you to know around this Pisces new moon that's swimming around there in the subconscious. So, okay, that's the first card here. I went to this one and that one. Okay, and then we're also going to pull from the Sun and Moon Tarot. And these are going to be messages from our higher realm, the creator and spirit, and your spirit guides, and your angels, and your loved ones on the other side, your ancestors, all those beings of unconditional love and light. But they want you to know around this Pisces full moon as well. So what would you like our Aquarians to know, please? Okay, they want 1, 2, and 3. And just those 3? I feel like there's one for that, isn't there? Yeah, right there. Okay. So we'll leave that one for last, and we'll just take a look here. We'll start with the shadow here. You have the Page of Spheres, which would be the Page of Coins or Page of Pentacles. This is about new opportunities, new things coming in the outside world. And this is great. So along with the singing and toning, they're like letting you know that there's so much more to your power than you realize. And it's like, you know, it's like when we have a dark thought about ourselves or our life or something, when we voice it and bring it out, it really brings that darkness into the light, which allows it to diminish, allows it to not feel as big as it is if we left it quiet and in the inside. So there is that piece of it about bringing out and speaking about things that we're afraid of, things that we have questions about. Because sometimes just saying it out loud to a trusted friend or saying it out loud to yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so silly. But when we leave it quiet and in the dark, it feels so much more real. So that's the kind of energy that they're talking about too, is that works for the bringing the dark into the light. It diminishes the dark, but if you have light inside of you and you bring it out into the light, it amplifies it even more. And that's the importance of the singing and toning, because bringing that belief, those things within you, whatever it is, whether it's of darkness or light, when you're bringing it out, it's going to transform it into more and more light. And that's what they're wanting that for you. In fact, it's pretty cool. Even just this picture on here shows that light just beaming out from the top of the head here, from like the throat. And then they want me to pull all the shadow cards first. You have the Seven of Cups, and cups are your emotions, and the Seven of Cups has to do with this confusion about your feelings, about what you're supposed to be feeling, what you should be feeling. And again, so they are reiterating what I was talking about before about the dark feelings, these emotions. I'm feeling this way, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be feeling that way. I think this way, I just don't know. I feel kind of confused. It's kind of foggy and hazy. I don't understand what's going on. It's like, get it out onto paper, get it out into your vocal cords, saying it out loud to yourself, or like I said, to a trusted friend, and just talk about your emotions. Because sometimes just talking about it, you don't even need someone to respond. It's just like when you talk about it, you're like, okay, never mind, I totally get what's going on here, because now that I'm talking about it, it's making sense. And that's what they're telling you here, is these confusing emotions that you have when you talk about it, it's going to totally transform things for you. And then you have the Lovers. Yeah, you have the emotional choices. You have this passion that is billowing up within you. And I love the singing and toning, because there are these unspoken desires that you have, these passions that you want to live in your life. And I'm not talking about the physical passions of our human side. These are like these dreams that you have had boiling down inside of you, and you've been afraid to mention them and speak about them because you're afraid people are going to poke holes in them, and you're afraid that if you talk about it, that it's going to make it feel less. But they're telling you the singing and toning, even if you hum it and the words actually don't get out there to other people, it's you purposing and intending and taking that action of voicing it that is going to change it for you. And so I love what they're telling you here. And then let's see what Spirit has to say too. Yeah, you got the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, this is about diving into the unknown. She's the queen of getting into the subconscious, the unknown, and connecting to the spirit realm. So you really do have this indication from them. They're like, yeah, spend time understanding that, focusing on your spiritual side. And the High Priestess, she kind of takes a step away from the outside world and goes into her temple, and she connects to that moon energy. And here's that new moon, the Pisces New Moon, showing up here. And it's like, yeah, definitely use this new moon energy to connect that deeper realm, because this does have wonderful energy that enables you to attune with the divine, connect to your higher self, connect to that higher place that helps you understand all that's going on here too. And this is the energy behind, it's like the magic behind singing and toning here. Yeah, because here you go. Safety, 10 of Cups. Cups are your emotions, like we talked about here with the 7 of Cups. So once you do that and you bring them out into the open, you feel this wholeness and this completeness, because you go from the new moon to a full moon here, where you feel this wholeness and this completeness in your emotions instead. And I love this, because this too, I'm being nudged, because you also, if you look really close here, you'll see that they have the Ace of Cups and they're pouring it out onto all of this. And the Ace of Cups is like the unconditional love. It's the chalice, the Holy Grail, full of the unconditional love of the Creator and of the higher realm. The High Priestess connects us to the higher realm. And the two, there's this new series that they had me start, and we started at the beginning of this year. It's called U times 2, which is it's a video series each week. It's totally free, and there are videos anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes each week that help you understand this adventure that you're on, and the two of you, the two sides of you that are experiencing this human experience. Your actual human, smaller self that is kind of ruled in the fear and the fight or flight, and the higher self, which is that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, that higher self that the Pisces New Moon wants you to attune to. And so these are really just reiterating that and letting you know. You might want to check those out. I'll have the playlist linked on the end of the video here somewhere at the end. And then you have the Justice card. And the interesting thing about this deck is that they have the Justice card be number 8, which is actually the Strength card, and the Justice card is usually card number 11. So there is this duality that comes in here, because this Justice card, you can see how they have the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords helps you connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm. It also allows you to cut away the small T truths that no longer serve you, but there's this balancing that goes on here. Again, like the 2 of Cups that I was talking about, the two sides, you have the human side and the spiritual side there. And the Strength card, the regular number 8, is like the poster child for that U times 2 whole series, because there's usually a lion and a maiden and the maiden has like a infinity symbol on her or above her, which represents our higher self, and the lion is our human self. And there's this whole story around that too, which they don't want me to go in right now. But there is this nudge to connecting to that higher place, because that's what helps you bring all this beautiful light and transforming any darkness as you bring it out and take action on that. So there is this balancing out of those truths, the inner and the outer, and it helps balance it by bringing it out into the open. Which brings us to this final card here. Yeah, there you go. It brings it out into the light. So everything that we were talking about bringing the darkness into the light, here's the sun. That is the light. That's the brightness. This is one of the most victorious and positive cards in the entire deck. So they are talking about this singing and toning is a beautiful experience. And if you can't sing, if you've been, I know my mom, she told me, she had the hardest time ever singing in her life because of a horrible experience she had in elementary school, where the music teacher said something awful, like, if you're going to sound like a cat in heat, go out into the hall. And it was so mean. And it wasn't, called for, because I heard her sing, and she sings fine. But it was in that moment, it really hurt her, and it made her push that into the subconscious. And so facing that, and even, like I said, humming, and if you are afraid in the beginning, just turn the music even louder. But it's that vibration of you humming, of you expressing it. That's you bringing your energy and your power into this realm in an even stronger way. Like I said, it converts any of the darkness into light. And any of the light, it just makes it multiply like a sun, right? So I love this for you, and I'm going to leave the reading there. In addition to these new moon readings, of course, I do full moon readings. I also do monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly readings, energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, and a few other type of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, and also click the subscribe button, that'll give you access to this notification bell. And when you click on that, you can select all, and then you'll be notified when any new video comes out on this channel, and you won't miss any of those messages. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video or share a video or subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm so happy it wants to share the videos with other people as well. So if you want to do any of that, I thank you very much for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want even more specific information for your life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All my Aquarians, just know as you're going out throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing new moon. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, and until then, you take care.